Okay, so the purpose of this next tutorial is to hopefully try to show you how you can create a due work within a unit on the course builder, export it to the class that you want them to receive it and then hand something in, and some clarification about the due dates and how you do that. So I'm going to use this dummy 12 prep class again here. And if I click down my subjects, it comes up, this is the class page, and I've already imported the course. What I might do here is put a unit of work, a due work I should say, into the industrial design project. So to do that, if I go to the industrial design project by clicking onto it, you see that it then takes me to the page behind it, if you like, where I can then create a task, a due work, a quiz, or a project. That's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it would be to go 12 prep, we'll go up here to course, 9 industrial graphic skills, go to the course like that, come to it here, and this is basically doing exactly the same thing. I hope that made sense. There's the course, there's the unit, there's our 4 options of things that we can do within this unit. Okay? Alright, so 2 ways to do it that way, or I think the simpler way is just to go to your class like I did before. There's the unit, so click onto that. Although this is in the class page, so I think I do need to go back here actually. 9 industrial graphic skills, I do. Okay, that was close, almost made a mistake. Alright, so you need to actually go back to the 9 industrial graphic skills course page, and then it's inside here that I want to create something. So I'll modify, and no, that's incorrect. What have I done? I've got to click on the stupid thing, that's what it is. Righto, once I've clicked on it, then I can go to course builder. Alright, click onto that. This time I'm going to go to due work. Now I'm going to go and give it a title, so let's just call it, I don't know, folio or whatever it was from here. So it was the project, so yeah, we'll call it a folio then, I suppose. So I suppose it really is the name of the folio though, isn't it? I don't know. Industrial design folio. If I can spell. Okay. The work type in this case, because it's going to be something that I want the students to hand in, it's going to be assessed. And because it counts towards the summative assessment, I'm going to click on assessment item here. I can provide a description here of what I want them to do, but I'm not going to bother at the moment doing that. Then the way I'm going to attach the folio task sheet here. So click and drag, click that. Go into my team drive, go find 9 industrial graphic skills, there it is there. Go find the project, and looks like there's some G-slide ones in there. I'm not too sure whether they're going to work or not. Let's just say it's, I don't know, that one there. I'm not too sure whether that one is. That's a classwork one. But anyway, just as an example. Actually, there you go, 2018. We'll do it through here. This might work. Assessment, folio, same thing. I'll show you how I do it, and then you might do your thing with your G-slides. I'm not too sure. I'll just choose this one. This is like pretending it's the task sheet. Click on open, comes up there, upload it, and you can do more than one file. You can add like a whole bunch of files here that will relate to the actual assessment item. In the submissions part, you must check multiple, because you want students to hand in not just their one final copy, but also their benchmarks and a pre-sub. So then you go to the weighting. So remember, the weighting is normally 0 unless it's a summative piece of assessment coming from here. And we can look here, we can see the project. Yes, it is summative, and we've said it's worth 25%. So at that point, that's where I type in 25% there. I won't bother with self-reflection. At the moment, it's staff and students, hopefully parents of those as well. And it is a percentage, we'll leave it as a percentage. If this was not summative, this was formative, but you still wanted students to hand something in and you wanted to mark it, but it's not going to be a percentage, then you'd make that 0 and you change the mark type to a letter grade, and you can choose your 15-point scale letter grade. So in this way, you're controlling the feedback to the student. The feedback is either as a percentage, if it's summative, or it's A to E if it's formative. Hope that makes sense. So 25% we said, and percentage, and then click create. Okay. Now look here, we're in the industrial design project. Now we need to push this out to the class. So click on the 3 dots, export to class, tell it which class you want to go to. And here's the important thing here. So you've got 4 boxes. So basically the date that you want to publish on. Now, if this was an exam, you can actually set it up for it to be published at the exact time that class started. But this is an assignment, so I'm just going to say from the first of the year. The open date is the date that you then want to receive your first benchmark, or if you've not got any benchmarks, if it's only a small piece, it would be your first pre-sub. So if it was a pre-sub, it would be 1 week before the due date. So let's say the due date was, for argument's sake, I don't know, we'll go back, make it at the end of the semester. So let's say the due date was the 28th, that's the week before the holiday start, 28th of March. I'd update that. The open date, I would make that perhaps, well, depending on your assessment item, your open date, you might have a benchmark due next week. So that's the 28th today, so you might go, I don't know, the 4th, and click update. The close date is there for when students, for some reason, don't have the opportunity to submit their work via that due date and that due time. Now what happens is, if you make your due date and your close date exactly the same, then when a student tries to hand something in late, maybe they've got an extension or something like that, it won't let them. So what I normally do is make this close date 1 week after the due date. It shows you, who's handed in late anyway. I think it was the 4th, sounds about right. Okay, so let's go over that again. It's an assignment, so it opens up for the beginning of the year. The publish, I should say, from the beginning of the year. It's open to receive submissions. Remember, I clicked multiple submissions from that date. The due date is there, and that's the closing date, which means that the assessment item will then cease for them to be able to hand anything into it a week after the due date. You then click on export, I should say, to select the classes. You then go back to your class, industrial design folio, and there it is there. You can see it, assessment item. Okay, and then if I went to the mark book of this page, it would then also be showing up in the mark book as a percentage, not as a to E. Okay, so the last thing to do would then be to, we've done the A to E, we've done the percentage, there was one more thing, I'll think about it in a sec.